Hello, Kalu Kalay, oh glorious day.
Hello.
I live.
Suddenly it works.
And I have cookies.
Technical difficulties.
Yes, really sorry, but I have no idea what happened with that. I shall put on some music.
To be honest, when don't we?
Okay, we'll try that one last time. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Legends of the Sprawl at Chaotic Neutral Games. I'm Simon, the GM for tonight, and I'm here with Paul, Felicia, Ed, and Corinne with their adventures in the fringe of Imperial space. Don't forget that you can help or indeed hinder by using your channel points. Check out the options in the chat bar below. You can also join the chaos by joining the Discord link that's below, or you can vote towards the session twist by becoming a subscriber. The players are starting a new mission, and that is High Alert. Now, instead of the session twist this time, our subscribers decided who they would like to see the next mission focused on, and with an overwhelming majority, it was Chevron. So we are going to.
Oh no!
And this was actually advantageous as well because Paul, if you don't mind me saying, is going to be leaving the party soon, being that he has Babby on the way.
Rolling a new PC.
Yeah,
phrase it right.
And we are going to be. Paul calculated all the probabilities of him being in for the next sets of sessions. We even got a whole kind of curve going on. So yeah, I've written this in a very particular way, so that if Chevron does go out, I have a reason. Okay.
It's because he finally bought his goddamn cantina.
Well, we'll see.
Casino.
We'll see. Yeah, casino.
Stole a party boat and ran away.
Class. So, let me just put you guys up here. I found something out about Zoom the other day that if you change the screen, if you change the size of the screen, it turns you into a bar rather than a. Let's not do it that way. It turns you into a bar, and I can see you all that way. So.
Yeah, that's right.
You've just put it on stream.
I to start off with, I did it deliberately, but now I'm just messing with it.
I mean, that is right, Simon. I want a bar. We've already established.
This is true.
It's true.
So, you guys recently completed your mission, Burden of Honor, and that was deliberately supposed to be a bit of a mini dungeon, a bit of a mixed set of fighting. You got every chance to roleplay, but there was also a lot of ambushing and kind of testing at your various tactics and your understanding of the system. I left this kind of mini dungeon until you guys had become very accustomed to using the Genesis system rather than just throwing you into something that was going to be quite daunting. And you did really well. And the first auto death from Felicia, where she rolled on the crit table and got sudden agonizing death as the outcome. So that was good fun. In between sessions now, we did have a few sessions where it was basically a shopping episode. We realized how long that can take. So we've done all that behind the scenes, and some things will turn up in naturally, but for the players, are there any bits that people would see overtly now as we pan the camera into your asteroid base, excuse me, and we see you guys sat around in your living area. You've used your Bacta jacuzzi that no longer smells of chicken, and
It's not filtered through.
Yes, it's filtered through. You've had to change the filter a couple of times. Bright yellow, unearthly yellow. So you've managed to get that sorted out. You've backed yourself up. You're healed up for the most part. Did any of you have any outstanding critical injuries from the last mission?
No.
From the last mission, though, I think
managed...
JT's still nursing a few from a long.
No,
No.
actually,
Oh.
Nima managed to
no.
convince JT to get himself
Yep.
fixed up.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, you missed one
Hey.
session. You missed everything. There we go.
Oh yeah.
JT went a little bit further because obviously he's still very annoyed about not being able to hold his own in the fight against the 5 droids and the very well set up ambush,
Yeah.
which is completely
How dare
understandable,
he?
but JT's annoyed about it.
Yeah.
So one day, just JT disappeared for a day, basically. Asked Nima to write him a note to his lovely friend Osnar, who is good at making guns. But also, Osnar has a good source on droid parts. So JT returned the next
rebuilt
day.
X4, so yeah.
He did indeed.
Yeah.
And in fact, he installed JT's original, his new last mission armor.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
But JT returned, and for a while he was wearing kind of a cloak over his shoulders while he set up something in the hangar. JT never wears a cloak. Why is he-
Yeah, was it new fashion? Maybe he took a
Yeah.
page from Chevrill's book.
Indeed.
Who knows?
So, question.
So JT, did you take your entourage with you? Because X4 would have, if he had an inkling as to what you were going to do, he would have happily come with you.
Would have taken X4, yeah.
Yeah, because
but
that's
none of the
why I
organics.
said you don't really need to roll for rarity or anything like that. Because if you take your entire entourage, they can make whatever you want.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That too.
because this is droid repair. Yeah.
But JT sets up a range in the hangar and calls everyone to the range
Yeah.
and very dramatically throws off his cloak to show 2 new arms.
Ooh.
He has replaced his arms with IG series droid arms.
Oh wow!
So they completely do not fit. Like they are entirely the wrong shape and size, and they bend in all the wrong ways.
Yep.
But
There's
he
not
picks
much left on the LVU droid.
Up, there really isn't.
Is it
just-
basically his head left, and that's really what we've got of the original Jet? Well, not quite. But we had
Actually,
new
his
legs.
head got modified as well. He put in a new optic suite.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
there's
Okay.
it's the dwarves' axe, isn't it? You know, it's like every part of the axe has been changed,
The
but it's
droid
the
of
family
Theseus.
axe. Yeah.
Except the core. Core's
Yeah.
still there.
Yes. But he throws off the cloak, picks up his disruptor rifle, and takes 3 quick shots at the targets he's set up.
Levi's
I'm
very
going to roll
supportive.
just because I really want to.
I was about to say, roll and choose your diff because you set the targets up.
Yeah.
They
This
can
is
be
his-
moving, they can be obscuring, they can be whatever you want.
It's
roll
just a
spits.
demonstration. They're just basically cans at the end of the thing, so it's like medium range, and yeah.
By the way, Simon, I did ask about the getting an optic suite myself for my armor. I assume I can just buy that and.
Optic suites are not a problem, largely because of the prior purchases. I think 3 of you now have bought them.
Yeah.
So yeah. X4, JT, and Victoria all have them.
Yeah.
You have a gun.
Yeah.
But yeah, quick
Very
shots.
useful to read
triumph.
messages from droids in
Yeah.
battle.
A
So
triumph.
triumph. So a nice start for
Oh, wow.
for JT, and
He also flicks out from his integrated holsters the shotgun, flicks it to stun, hands it to Chevron, and says, "Shoot me."
It's a bit inelegant, but very well, and sort of brace it, and there we go.
It does no damage to me on stun at base
Okay, I see.
because of ion shielding.
Ooh.
So
Nice.
for the visuals on this, because I thought deep and hard about this when I read it for the first time.
Wow.
When you fire the ion blast at him, the ion blast starts off as the usual ion blast that you see from Star Wars, which I think is just a white light, isn't it? It's a white bolt. It hits him, and when it hits him, suddenly electricity arcs all over him, ions, And suddenly, like ridge lines in his body, like a lightning rod, start to glow briefly and then fade as he just grounds the entire shot.
Oh, I get caught out again.
That
Quick
is
question.
Very good.
Is this pump action, this shotgun that I have right now? Or is it,
If you want it to.
just a couple more just to test. Are you sure this is definitely... Just like, try a few different spots. Well, that's...
Unless you end up managing to get more damage from extra successes, all that happens is that JT glows Tron-like for a second as he just channels the ion blast away from his body.
I mean, unless you're going to make me roll it, I'm not planning on.
No.
Absolutely. So, yeah.
I mean, let's face it, it's Chevron and he's been asked to do something. He's probably doing it lackadaisically. So he's just like, probably getting a bit of gangster style in there, holding it sideways, whatever. All you're doing is just making JT have these beautiful Tron lines across his body that almost like a kind of phosphorescent salt lines along his body. They glow momentarily and then just fade.
But this will still hurt, right? And flick the stun off.
I quick draw my other weapon and hold it to Chevron.
Fair enough.
It's insanely fast.
I see. And then return
And
graciously
Paul, you can
the
do
shotty.
quick draw, right?
I do indeed, but I've got a thing in my hands. I'm not gonna
You've
count.
never seen JT that slick before.
see.
JT has always been a peerless marksman, but he's never been that smooth on the draw. Quick draw, you've just recognized it as he just and gunslinger style pulls out one of his weapons.
Does that just cock the eyebrow and be like, oh, I've been paying attention, I see.
Software updates do wonders.
Oh, you got some software
Would you like to
updates.
register?
That's good.
Talking about upgrades, we really need to get on with your training with the sword. You've been talking about those light swords for forever, so we need to get you doing proper katas first so you know what you're doing when you get one.
Sorry, I just love the fact that it's canon that the Valashar know fuck all about the Force. One of those light swords, those things.
Those things, yeah.
Valashar doesn't give a shit. They're from the fringes of the fringes of the galaxy, and they're just like, yeah, we heard about these guys. Dribbly candles. They're just unimpressed because they know they'd fucking kill them if they met them.
I mean, Nemo will practice, but like...
It's more about getting her body used to swinging swords instead of shooting things.
Yeah.
Because once you get a lightsaber, you need to learn how to use it.
Yeah.
Right, so
I'm gonna dump all my experience into lightsaber skill once I get one.
We live in a universe where you are allowed to buy new arms, so you're probably okay.
Yeah.
Bacta does wonders. So as long as you're not actually dead, the Bacta does most of the things that you need for you, and the rest is cybernetic. So I've thought about this because thankfully you preempted this by saying, "Oh, I'm going to train you at some point." I was like, "Right, figure out to do that in the dice." So, Alicia, I would like you to make me a melee roll, as if it was a melee attack roll, because this is encompassing your knowledge of technique. So that is the roll. Now the diff, Corinne, what's Nima's intelligence score?
2.
2. Okay, so the diff is 3.
Aight. No blues, so I'm guessing, or blacks.
I'll give you 1 blue because the person that you're doing it with is willing. You're not training somebody who's reticent. Or are you, Nima?
No, I'm all for it.
Are you enthusiastic?
I am enthusiastic because this is possibility of learning lightsaber stuff.
It's just if you were in like an Aiden situation where Aiden's like, yeah, sure, go on then, and he was role playing being reticent, I would have changed the blue to a black. But you have an eager beaver, so I'll give you the blue.
Yeah.
1 success and 4 advantages.
Yeah. Okay. So you're feeling fairly confident, Nima. You for one thing, you're swinging about this vibrating foil because it's a rapier. It's
Yeah.
although it's probably more an AP rather than a rapier, but I'm not going to get sword snob on you. And so it's this incredibly light pokey stick that vibrates. And Nima,
Closest I could get to a lightsaber. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, guys.
It's fine.
you are Nima. You're waving it about, and when you first start waving it about, you can see the stress on Victoria's face as Victoria's like she's going to lop an arm off. And a couple of times Victoria comes up and kind of physically restrains your arm and goes no, and starts moving your arm in the right way. It's very kind of I think. But what I'm going to do is that because are you trained at all in melee?
No.
No. Okay, because you're not trained at all in melee. Normally, there would be some really nasty things I would do to you because you're wielding something that requires such proficiency without it. I'm going to say that you can hold that vibro rapier without killing yourself. That's all I'm giving you, is that I wouldn't immediately go, no, I'm upgrading to a red.
Chop, stab. Yep. Exactly.
Okay.
Well, she's gonna have to learn how to swing things, so this is a good start.
She's very happy to just practice in her downtime.
Yeah.
Or,
So
like...
until you start spending XP on that shit, that's what you got. Victoria, you make a mental note to hide any lightsaber that you actually managed to get your hands on one day until she proves to you that she isn't going to kill herself showing off.
Yeah.
The lightsaber you can use agility for, and you can.
So you do
Don't have
notice
to use
that
Sprawl.
she is.
There is a lot of training in Nima's future.
Yeah.
Sword swinging is a very taxing art of moving the body.
Yeah. So there's a lot that she doesn't get, and you do notice that she is. How do I put this? She's moving like she thinks a duelist should move, not
It's
how
not.
duelists actually move.
Yes.
She's being like a Hollywood duelist. Yeah, lots of ha, and
I'm making my own lightsaber sounds.
I'm going to say the advantages are you manage to get to the end of it and still have your marriage intact.
I was imagining Ghost, honestly.
I'm sure one of these people is significantly larger than the other. I guess
Yeah, Ghost would be incredibly different because Victoria is so large that she can sit Nima on her lap based on size alone.
Whoa.
So yeah. Anyway, so that's that. I just realised I've still got
Victoria is
Discord.
big
Let's
and
get
she's
that.
buff. It's great.
Cool. So that's that. You guys are just sat around in your base, happy that the only people who know where this base are the Mandalorians, and they themselves are very well invested in making sure that no one else knows about it, because they have declared this as far as they can trust you at the moment. They've declared it a covert, a place where Mandalorians can go and apply first aid, repair their armor, things like that, without being found. And that's in return for Felicia, your Mandalorian built. It's not Mandalorian armor, it's Mandalorian built armor. It's a bespoke piece. And that was what was it? Farrakhan that made that.
Yeah.
Who is both an armorer and one of the local leaders as well. The armorers have a very high station in
They're good at doing their job.
So you haven't had anything like that yet. You've had a couple of minor reports from the Mandalorians saying basically, all is well, we don't need anything from you, anything like that. There's been a couple of bits where they've just checked in on you to make sure that nobody's touched the shrine, because they do have a small portable shrine they put in your base.
Yeah.
But other than that, it's just been simple, and they've just kind of looked in on you. You did have a thank you from the Mandalorian that joined you in your last mission. The crack fighter queen.
Oh yeah, her.
And she thanks you for the fight. Declares that you were honourable in battle, and states that they she and not they declares that she actually spoke with Bjorn Helmrand at the end, and has actually started in a negotiation with him to support the Mandalorian, something that he didn't seem to have a problem with.
Yeah.
Even though you know they're chalk and cheese, you'll know that he'll probably respect what they want, as long as they respect that he will spend most of his time drinking and overeating and attacking pretty much anybody he doesn't like. So seems to be going well, almost boringly so. So what I'd like to find out, because rather than just going mission, what have you guys been doing in the downtime? I'm going to say that it's probably been about 5 weeks. What have you been doing in the meantime?
Victoria has basically built a gym in one of the corners of one of our spaces in the base, and has been working out.
Yeah,
because for the viewers' discussion, have gone up in brawn thanks to XP.
Sure. So the only way you can go up in brawn using XP is by using the trees in the talent trees in Edge of Empire. Once you've set your attributes at character creation, you can't change them unless you take the dedication talent, which appears, I think, on every tree.
It's in the bottom somewhere, or at the end, so to say.
So, you've managed to brawn up, which is huge in a Genesis system. It is huge. Adding to that dice pool, and raising the cap of how many dice you can roll is pretty disgusting. I'm going to say that you've put together a pretty cool gym. I mean, it's mostly kind of lifting or moving metal in various ways.
Yeah.
It's all there.
Occasionally moving metal with either Chevron or Nima sitting on it for some extra weight.
Yeah.
I was going to suggest occasionally just bench pressing JT while he's sitting down the hangar.
Yeah, that works. That too.
Mixed routine, yeah. Boom.
Functional strength.
And boom.
Good way to work out the core muscles.
Yeah, definitely.
Just in case it ever needs, it
might
come up
now.
It might come up. You never know when you need to lift your droid friends.
So, Felicia, you've lifted an LEVO droid. They're law enforcement droids. You've thrown a few off balconies before. They are not that heavy. No. JT is heavy. Yeah.
JT is not really an LEVO.
Core program may have been an LEVO a long time ago, but he has evolved way past that.
Mm-hmm.
And you realize, because JT can shed some weight mostly by opening up panels and taking out guns and things. But depending on whether or not he asks you or you say yes or no, he can be pretty damn heavy. I mean, you're there just pushing this guy up. It's like picking up a small speeder bike. Which because you've thrown a few speeder bikes, but it's picking up a good swoop,
yeah,
kind of thing. But you do it because you spent the XP. So Nima, what have you been doing?
Nima has been working a bit closer with Nala, doing some more political stuff. Representing
meditating with her bowl.
Yeah, meditating with my bowl, meditating on the bowl, meditating on the bowl when not around the bowl so I can feel the force.
You do notice that you have to take the bowl to the other end of the asteroid and then walk to the opposite end of the asteroid for you to feel any form of channeling the force. You can channel the force, What you can't do is perceive the force.
Hmm.
And that's something that is, you didn't realize how quiet it is when you can't perceive with the force. It's like,
It's
with the
what-
lockdown recently, when there's no cars and there's a sudden silence, you're like, there's something wrong. What's wrong? And then you realize it's too quiet. And yeah, that's what you had.
Yeah. And what else? I'm also training with Victoria with my sword skills.
Yep.
Stabby, stab.
When I'm done with you, you will be able to kill others and not yourself using this.
At the moment, you've only got the second half.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But not
What I'm
yourself.
saying is, Karen had so much XP to spend, and none of it has gone into swordsmanship.
Yep.
No.
Well, I
all
might
of
be
it
wrong,
went
but-
into this, the colonist tree that I have, because
Yeah.
that's my original specialization before. Because I immediately on character creation bought this force sensitive tree and spent all my experience in that.
Yeah, she's always been a colonist politico right from the start, just never bought anything from it.
Never used it.
And I thought, oh, maybe I should check what's in there.
It's a good tree. There's some good stuff in
Very
there.
good.
I find
at
it
one point I wondered if I
hilarious
would-
that Victoria's tree, specialization is called hired gun. She doesn't use guns.
Yep.
There.
In all fairness, though, I like the fact that they split bounty hunters and hired guns. Bounty hunters specifically are about precision and execution of the
Yeah.
contract.
Hmm.
It's not about fighting per se, because you can be a what is it? It's a slip runner, I think it's called.
Yeah,
Slip tracer. Skip tracer. There we are.
That's it.
that's it.
Tracer, and they are bounty hunters that get everything done with words.
Hmm.
And I like that. That's good. Whereas a hired gun is a hired gun. It does what it says on the tin. They're soldiers. Soldiers of fortune. Yeah. Okay. Chevron, what have you been?
Right. Back now. I have to open up Chevron's to-do list because there is a to-do list.
By the way, JT has been tagging along as bodyguard when needed.
Sure.
Excellent. Well, let's maybe start off with that. That was one of the things on the to-do list. Basically, JT, Yantu, lads night out. Gonna go head off to whose was it now? Katala's asteroid. Basically, this is essentially the den of
Sin.
Yep.
den of sin that is Katala's asteroid, and we're
Yeah,
gonna
that
have
is a definite
night-
den of sin. Yeah, that's God. Yeah, she does everything from rowdy to almost royalty style courtesans.
I mean, I think we're not going to blow the entire budget, but basically, I think we're going for nice again. Going definitely casino scene because again, you let that slip a few sessions ago, Simon. So we're going to have a nice, good night on the town.
Yep.
Play some cards, get some drinks.
Sabac.
Oh, but it's about exactly that. Sounds grand. Yeah, so that'd be thing one.
Sure. I almost want to get you to roll for that.
I'm down with it. Yeah.
Okay, give me give me 3 quick rolls. Okay.
Shoot.
The first is going to be, I guess, it'd be like a streetwise roll. Is it streetwise?
What's it for? Well,
Knowledge underworld, streetwise, cunning,
Skullduggery.
Knowledge Underworld is less good.
skullduggery.
All these lovely things.
I just realised I can't see my Star Wars book anyway.
Oh, I have it.
That's why you stole my book.
Do you
Hold
want
it
it
up to
back?
Be
Hold
right
it up
back.
to the screen, and
I was looking at items.
because what was it JT was playing last time? Was it Sabaki?
This one.
It was Sabac. JT
Okay,
was
I
Sabac.
need it to run again.
learning Sabac. And actually, as part of this, he's got this Sabac deck,
He
which he
does
wants
have
to
the-
figure out what he does.
The hacked Sabak deck, yeah.
Yeah.
Is it the deck or was it the hacker? Who knows? But TBD.
You will never know, but you will own it.
Yeah, might
Yes,
piggyback
it's
a little bit on
streetwise.
that to learn.
So, yeah, give me a streetwise check. The diff isn't going to be huge. It's going to be diff 2 for streetwise. But
Okay.
you can, if you wish, increase it to diff 3. Because, again, I love one thing about this.
Yeah, go on. Hey-oh! Look at that.
Yeah,
Hey-o.
there we go.
Nice.
Yeah, you are the smoothest guy when you go in there. You know, you're saying all the right things. You're making all the right insinuations. You're not stirring up the waters between Katala and your own boss, because you're still considered to be under boss Nala.
Just visiting.
And you are the perfect guest. You are spending money. You're polite. You're even helpful, saying, "Oh, is there any problems or anything like that? You know, how are things going?" You are as much as you can do in an asteroid that is like an asteroid-sized brothel. You are perfectly being the ambassador. Yeah. And that is because streetwise is the only thing that matters. Yeah.
Very good.
You get yourself a reputation amongst, and bear in mind, it's not. Bear in mind, this is a huge city, not just brothels. You know, there is regular people working there as well. But it is kind of Amsterdam red light district core of this, to the point where the courtesans run the show. Yeah, they have got their own enforcers. They've got their own. They've got other things. They've got their own shipbuilders and all the rest of it. Not shipbuilders, sorry. Their own docks. Yeah, but for the most part, it is the courtesans that run it with Katara at the time. So that's the first one. The second one I would like you to do is a leadership role.
Ooh, less good.
And that's also at Diff 2.
It's not. It's worse. It's better than I thought it was. Okay. Yeah, there we go. It's all good.
Go.
Yeah. Fine.
Large and in charge. It's okay. Yeah.
So not only do you have an amazing time, you end up partying with many of the girls past the point of your contract. Because they just like you. They realize that, they work for their boss, you work for your boss. There's kind of networking going on after the contract is complete, of course. You can see that, Yantu's out of his depth. But with your leadership skills, you manage to keep him on track and, take him aside from time to time and kind of say, hey, look, you've got to be able to do this kind of stuff. Kind of thing, be cool. He toes the line, and he's actually gained some of your reputation by reflection. The last one.
J2 doing all this? Is he just be like, oh, organics?
JT's playing Sabak the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
He's learning.
I'll get to you in a minute. The last thing I'd like you to do is a resilience check.
Oh no!
And that's Diff 3 because you did so well. They're plying you with drinks.
Yeah.
This is less good. Wait. Oh yeah, there it is. Diff. Whoa. Oh dear. Back to tank tomorrow. Diff 3, you say?
Yep.
Well, this is whew. Unsurprised. Oh,
yay! There
eventually, that was the odds were very much stacked against me there.
A blank on it as well.
You have an incredible time. However, you are carried back to the ship by JT.
Very good. I definitely want to be, as I say, over the course of this, like I said, I definitely do want to join JT at the tables and put a bit of a session in there. I'm talking really, at the end of the bender, eventually the bender wins. But mid-bender, you can do all sorts. Yeah. It's the price you pay, man. It's the price you pay.
Yeah. You're a little. Your muscles are aching, and not from the booze. The booze itself has kind of made you very tired, a little bit fragile, and in the end, cradled like a baby, you go back in JT's arms. Yantu's not that much better. I mean, thankfully, his Trandoshan constitution allows him to deal with it. And thankfully, he always looks like he's having a bad day. He trudges along behind at the end of it. But you're not thrown out, at least. You're just
leaving with it. Yes. Some small shrivel of dignity intact at the end of the day.
The girls think that they've done their job. It's a job well done. Let's go with that.
Fair enough. There we go. Cool. All right. Yes.
Right.
On the return, I'll just be like, JT, you don't see droids wearing clothes. I mean, I liked the cape. I thought it worked. So the arms. I mean, they work. I've seen them, work. But the cape. There's a good look on you.
I did like the effect.
We should go see my guy.
Okay.
All right, there you go. Excellent.
Actually, I was going to ask Ed. You said you put IG-88 arms on. Do you have the central rotor?
I guess. I think that'll be fun. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Why not?
Sure. Yeah. So instead of proper shoulders now, your arms are on a rotor. Yeah. Cool.
So do you have
JT's
two sets of different
plan.
arms though, or is it?
No,
like...
I've replaced my arms.
Yeah.
They are gone.
His arms are in a box. You can put them back on anytime you like. But yeah, his arms are in a box. So yeah.
You're hanging on the wall a memory of a time long past.
When he could still fit in his chair.
Well, instead of having swords over the fireplace, swords and a shield, you just got a pair of droid arms.
I'd like to do the JT's gun cabinet. You just open it up and there's the sniper rifle, the slug rifle.
Oh no! His arms are holding a pair of blasters above the fireplace.
Yes.
That's not a bad idea.
Paul's idea as well. It's like, oh yeah, that's my sniper rifle, that's my autocannon, and that's lefty and righty. We don't talk anymore. But, yeah.
While the boys are having,
JT.
I was gonna say, while the boys are having their night out, Dima and Victoria is having an amazing boys-free night and just relaxing.
Yeah. Candles. You managed to put a bath bomb in the back of the tank. It's
we have a bath bomb in the back of the tank. Nice dinner.
Strange cultures now growing on the side of the back of the tank of Bacta and bath bomb. Yeah, that works. I should get on to Geeky Clean and get them to do a Bacta bath bomb.
There are flowers that have not yet died.
Lastly, JT, what have you been doing other than playing Protectatron for Chevron?
Well, because JT obviously doesn't really need to sleep, he's been mostly training. So new guns, obviously. Using his disruptor rifle, he's got a new slug thrower rifle, which he's very excited about, which doesn't work as well for him because it turns out it's incredibly customized to the user, and he found it used. So at some point, he's going to need to find the dealer and get it customized for him. It's a whole thing.
I'm going to say that's happened. That's not interesting enough for it to warrant a roll or a period. The handle now gets customized to your new hands. Whilst your hands were being made, so was the handle for your gun. That's fine.
There happens to be a traveling Suzuka salesperson come through.
Fuck that! You use anybody other than Osnar, he will bitch you out like you wouldn't believe. He is originally a gun nut, remember? So yeah, he's very much a craftsman. He would consider.
Yes, that brings me to my second order of business, which was with Osnar, because I've got a Sabak deck, which I don't know what it does, and during my back and forth with Osnar, I'm just going to place it on the table. Do you know what that does? It's some kind of Sabak deck that cheats. Do you know how?
I'm going to bring up my my mugshot of a where is he?
Osnar's a Rhodian, I believe.
Yeah, he is indeed. I'm trying to find my Rhodian. Osnar is a Rhodian, and this, by the way, this is a Fantasy Flight Games original art piece. And we're playing a Fantasy Flight game, so we can use it. But yes, love this picture because I have to say the original Rhodian Grebo didn't look that menacing. This guy looks menacing, and so he takes a look and he goes, well, I can play it if that's what you mean.
No, this. JT will deal a hand and say, sometimes when we get Sabak, the cards change, and I want to know how to use that.
They're supposed to change.
They changed twice.
Oh, I see. And he takes out the entire Sabak deck, starts arranging it, and he goes, I can't see it. They only appear to be changing once to me.
I'm going to look around and see if there's... there are probably like droid parts now strewn across his...
Oh, God, yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to find a visual thing and just try and plug it in. I don't know. Use this and just hand it to him.
Sure. He pretty much just sets up a video camera like a GoPro, with droid parts. Does it again, replays it, and yeah, sure enough, what happens is that it changes twice. But he goes, strange. You got time to play about with this?
Nothing but time.
You play several things. He goes, I don't get it. It's changing twice, but it's not benefiting anyone. And he takes a look at the Sabak box that they were in, and he goes, takes it over to one of his desks, shoves it in there, and he goes, now there's your problem. Most Sabak boxes have a shielding to stop them from being corrupted from the outside. This one here, instead of just showing insulation, actually has some microcircuitry on the inside. It's got some sort of transponder. Yes. And over the course of about an hour, he figures out that if you use your comlink to attune to the transponder that's in the box, the double Sabak flick will go into your favor because it will detect all the cards closest to the comlink.
Very nice.
Yeah,
That could be useful.
it's complicated. In fact, if multiple people have the transponder, it will take turns making those two win. I should imagine for group games. Yes.
It was worth the fight then.
He looks at you and goes, fight? And you remember that Rhodians are violent as fuck deep down. They can be good friends, they're cultured, but they have a background and evolution of being incredibly vicious tree lizards. And
Yes.
There's a certain level of them where they get excited at the hunt. Incredibly excited.
And I will regale him of the tale of how his modifications on my gun made it so perfect for that situation.
Yeah, he's there and he's laughing, strange kind of sinuous voice. He's a Rhodian who has, you're actually speaking to him in Rhodian because translation matrix and you're a droid. So yeah, he's talking to you in Rhodian. And you can talk to him in whatever he understands. He understands most of the languages you get to go for. And you hear this kind of slightly gurgled laughter coming from the Rhodian as he sat there with kind of a spiced tea that he's drinking, and he's just back in his chair bellowing with laughter at you recounting what you did on the barge. So yeah, cool. I like it. So yeah, you now know how to use this Sabak deck to cheat because you took it to a technical genius.
And I won't use it in the Sprawl.
Yeah, probably for the best. Yeah. He doesn't really care.
He doesn't.
He doesn't.
Others might.
He probably won't play Sabak against you unless he checks the cards himself. But yeah, he doesn't have a problem with it. But you have a feeling the bosses would probably have a problem with it. Or at least the enforcers. It's too low level for the bosses.
JT's time is split between Sabak shooting and bodyguarding.
Sure. It's a living, yeah. So, you guys, as I say, are just chilling out in your asteroid base. And life is good. You know, you've been able to get your mods done, you've been able to get some training done. Life is pretty good right now. And you continue in that vein until suddenly you get an encoded message and each of you has a transponder encoder. And this one is coming up, and you all check on your various either HUD or whatever, or your comlink. And this one is for Chevron.
Message for you, Chef.
Maybe my orders come in. And I'll zack.
By the way,
Okay.
Simon, should we roll Destiny?
In a minute, yeah. When we start to need it, yeah. Actually, I'll get rid of the one remaining Destiny point.
I rolled that one, so that should be there.
Oh, you rolled that one. Okay,
Yeah.
so we'll put it in Destiny. Yeah, you. Are you going to take it in private, or are you just going to slap it on the screen?
I guess I wouldn't normally put my personal communiques on the main screen of the ship, so I will just open it up and bring it up on the watch or on the on the shades, one of the two.
Oh yeah, you got the shades. So yeah, you just tap the sides of the shades, and you can see kind of like a really shitty, but certain parts of it are stylish lounge area, and the second that the sound switch is on, you can hear this cacophony of people screaming. There's like this thumping sound, and this would normally be of concern to you if it wasn't for the fact that Lias Bran is sat there sprawled, his two large arms sprawled across the sofa, as his two little legs are just kind of paddling like a dog that's dreaming of running. He's got kind of cataracty eyes that seem to be going all over the place, and he's drooling slightly as well. He looks filthy, and he's got a leather jacket kind of affair going on, with kind of lots of different studs and bits of bling and all the rest of it. You can see that he's recently gained another earring in his big Doug earrings. Actually, I should put up a mugshot of. Most people know what Dougs are, but I'll put one up anyway because it's good fun. There we go. And he's just staring into space, his head lolling back and forward as he goes, "Chef, my chef. Chef.
Bran, my man, how's it going?"
No. Yeah. I'm in trouble. Yeah.
Move it off kind of trouble or serious?
No, I'm gonna die.
Soon?
Chevron.
Bran, I think you might need to give yourself a little perk up. Can you grab something that'll perk you up for a second?
Can't, man. Can't. Tried everything. Tried it all. Nothing working. Not for any of us. I'm in trouble. Chef. Wow, what's going on, man? I'm not sure. Oh.
Is there any indication as to where he is, either in the scene or in the message stream?
No, you know that he's managed to get on the network somehow, but you know that he's got crazy social media accounts that allow him to do that. He could be halfway across the galaxy. Right now. And you do know, just looking through the kind of icons and things on the feed, you know you can switch it to like a holo feed, and he'd just be there like in the hologram. You know it's encoded, but that's about it. In fact, you know that he's got the best that money can buy to make sure that you don't get his number, because he's got thousands, if not millions, of adoring fans who would love to be able to speak to it. So,
okay. But at this point, I will throw it over to the sort of main deck in the mess hall or whatever it is, and just bring it up there so that all and sundry can see this wondrous sight that is a disheveled Doug.
This Doug does not look well at all. For those of you who have seen Dougs before, Dougs are normally very focused, and even though this is the Keith Richards of my Star Wars universe, he can take a lot of drugs. It's clear that he's struggling, and his head is lolling back. Yeah, I'm in trouble. That was bad stuff.
What is it, man? Spice? Death sticks?
Death sticks, man. Death sticks. Death sticks are for losers. Hey, for losers, man.
For losers.
Losers. No. This is spice. This is a kind of spice. What do you call it? He called it Emerald Road. It was.
Is it poisoning you?
Too good to be true. I think so. I think so, because a lot of people who take me are killing people now. Hey, you're pretty. Who are you?
I'm Nima. I'm Chevron.
I knew a Nima.
Yes, that's me.
She knew Chevron.
Yes, that's me.
Still here, Lars. Where are you, Lars? Where are you? Lars, grandma man, where are you?
I'm in trouble.
Where are you?
I'm in the cube. And he kind of starts taking his two large arms and starts trying to put together a square.
He does it like this way.
And he's having trouble doing it. And you realize after a while he's trying to use just two sets of two fingers to make a cube, and all he can do is make one of the faces, so he keeps moving. This is bad. It's bad, man. People kill each other. I didn't kill anyone. I don't think so. But my boys, they're out there now, and they're not good. They're not good. They tore my droid apart. He was my only person I could trust, and they tore him apart in pieces.
Oh dear.
Hello?
That's
Yeah, we're still here. So did you say you had taken something called Emerald Road?
Are you CSA? You got to tell me if you're CSA.
No, I'm just part of Chevron's. I'm with Chevron's.
Chev, is he there? Hey, Chev.
Ren, my man.
Chev.
Ask the question, Chevron. I will just shut up.
Oh God, what was the question, Nima? Sorry.
Nima.
It
I
was
knew a
Emerald
girl
Road.
called Nima.
Emerald
Oh,
Road.
yeah.
You know Chevron, you know?
Yeah, I'm not confused. Well, off the top, so the Cube and Emerald Road. Anything of those two terms registering?
No, never heard either of them.
Well, shit. Grant, what planet are you on, Grant? Let's start with that.
I feel like I'm not on any planet. I'm not. I'm in a cube. I'm on a cube. I'm not on a planet, man. You're on a planet. You're on a planet.
Spaceship?
No, that is cube. Who'd make a spaceship in the shape of a cube? That's stupid. That's stupid. You got to tell me if you're CSA, man. You got to tell me.
I'm going to send a private message to Rummage and just say,
very good.
heard of Emerald Road?
Not yet. Give me a while. Be right back.
Rummage.
Yeah, that's the.
Found him on a Spice World.
Yeah.
Yeah, he lived on a spice world.
He's a hacker from a Spice World. Yeah, he's just like, not yet, but I will. You can just picture, in your mind's eye, this little Chandra fan suddenly going.
Isn't it?
Rummage
No,
is a
he's a
Jawa.
Jawa.
Jawa. Sorry, Jawa.
Mm.
Not Chandra. Jawa. As Rummage just starts going crazy with their rig.
Grant, who is it that killed the droid? Your droid.
Okay, John, my boys, the droid is saying that they shouldn't go out and hurt people, and so they hurt him, and they went out and hurt people. There was still some loyalty in their heads when they went out, so they didn't stop me. I started singing, and that stopped them from doing it. I gotta tell you, man, it was probably good that I was high as all hell when I started taking that stuff, because otherwise it'd be the only thing ticking around in here. I'm taking all sorts at the moment just to dilute it down, because that's science, right? Yeah,
Sure.
science.
The appliance they're in. Who are you running with these days?
Who am I running with? It was just the band. The band are all dead. I think they're my boys. They went out. They're killing people. And I'm sure that there's not just one way, because they're not going to fight. They're not going to fight. And they went out into where all my security boys, my roadies, they'll kill the band easy. And as soon as they realize where all Laz is, they're going to come kill me too. Yeah.
Why have the roadies turned on you?
I'm
Can't
in
go get
trouble.
help.
I'm in trouble.
Beyond just being high as balls?
Yeah, that's a day that ends in X-Men. Right? There's being high is part of the creative process. You see, but no, I'm in trouble because they're going to kill me.
X4, please tell me you can get a trace on this.
Trying, but do you realize how good this code is? As X4 decides to go up against a Diff 5 code.
Yeah.
I'll roll that in a minute.
Fair.
What did you do that they're going to kill you for?
No, it's what they did that they're going to kill me for. They did Emerald Road, man. It was so sweet when we started. So sweet. This guy turns up. This place is celebrities only. This is not something that they just tell everybody about. The cube is a select clientele. And then this guy turns up, pimp as hell, and he said, "I got stuff better than anything you got." And we were like, "Show us," and he did, and we were like, "Okay," and so we bought a bit. Because try everything once, twice if you get the nuts wrong, and we tried it, and it was like it's spice. It's spice. I mean, it's green, but it's spice, and it was just so smooth. You were just happy and thinking of shit, and I was right. The whole time right. And I got some good songs out of it. Some bestsellers. There's going to be bestsellers. Yeah, sure. And he clutches with one of his big main dug arms. He picks up a fistful of paper, shoves it towards the camera, and you can see that it's bullshit. He's just scrawled all over it. It's like a fucking 3-year-old has been given, a magic marker, and he's got it everywhere and on him. And you now realize that some of the dirt on his face and his neck is pen. He goes, some of my best work. But
is it on headed letter paper, Simon?
It's on band approved letter. With like the fucking disclaimer at the bottom that everything on this is copyrighted. There's some copyrighted drivel. You notice that there are some kind of, just from that just got shoved up against the camera, there are some like doodles on there as well. He clearly just started doodling halfway through. And he goes, it was so smooth. I mean, spice normally has a kick back. You pay for the high with the low, but there was no low. No low. You wake up the next morning and you feel on top of the world. And it's just, it was good. It was good, but then one of my boys started theorizing. And he was saying that, he said that we weren't coming down. There was something in it that was kicking around in the brain and kept you from getting the down. And so, you kept taking it, and we did. Keep taking it, and then it builds up and builds up, and it ain't leaving the brain.
Why go through this much? Is
I
it just to poison, or is it you think it collateral damage, or?
Collateral damage? No, they're not here. They got a gig on the other side of the quadrant.
No. I'm mainly speaking to myself.
Sounds too good to be true.
It was. I mean, we were dancing on this stuff for days, and then the kick, man. I think the only reason I'm not going crazy like everybody else is I'm not coming down. Now I got my supplies, but it ain't gonna last long, and I don't know what's gonna happen to me or when it wears off. I need your help, brother. I'm really hoping you're there because I've seen some crazy shit. I'm hoping I'm not just talking to like the severed face or something, severed head. I really hope to listen to you, Chef. My Chevy Chef. You remember the partying? We partied hard.
Indeed, I will definitely try to recount some very specific detail. And Christ knows if he remembers the bits that Chevron remembers. But the point is, I will try to recount some aspects of, like, do you remember those Trandoshan chicks? That sort of thing.
JT moves some of these spare droid heads that were sitting behind Chevron.
And he goes, the Trandoshan girls, yeah, they had spines in places that people shouldn't have spines, brother. It was you. Oh, but this isn't just me hallucinating on the way out. I got more to give the galaxy, you know. I got high times and fun crimes to give out. Help me, Chef.
Well, look, I mean, of course, I have no trouble knowing this, but for everyone else in the room, how does one get to the cube?
How do you get to the cube? Yeah, you need to ask my captain. He brought me here. I didn't. I just know that when I arrived here, they let me in on sight. Yeah.
But you said it was exclusive. How do you get an invite?
You don't get an invite. You just tell people that you want to go to the cube, and eventually it happens. That's how it happens. You gotta be a celebrity. That's all it is. You call on celebrity. You say, hey, I want to go to the cube. That'd be cool. Who's going to the cube with me? And then you get on the ship and you end up on the cube. That's how it works.
He's absolutely right, Absolutely right.
Just ask your band manager, man. Tell your band manager you want to go to the cube, get high, get on the ship. You'll turn up eventually, but be quick about it. Yeah, either be really good at the band manager part or really good at the high part. I don't know which is the one that's important. But yeah, I need you to get here, bro. I need you to get here. There's a lot of people here that are scared, barring themselves in. You know how it is. Everyone's got a blaster. Everyone's got tools to open things up, and it's just like packs of animals out there. They're mostly killing each other. But I don't want to take my chances. You gotta help me, Chef. Come on, help me. Help out, brother. Come on.
For old time's sake, I think we can swing by.
Yeah.
How long you got left? How long is your supply going to last you?
God. And he picks up just this big box and sticks his head in it. He goes, I guess I can make this work like 9 days.
Like 9 days.
Yeah, it's gonna get real. I don't like it when it gets real.
So we've got 6 days.
6 days, yeah. 6 days. That's what I said. Yeah.
Right.
6 days.
No,
You look like a guy I used to know.
Hmm.
The droid. You look like a guy I used to know.
He gets that a lot.
Yeah. So, you're gonna help me, brother?
Yeah, I think I'm owed enough favors. We can swing by.
Okay. This
You hold
better be
tight.
real.
You
This
hold
better
tight,
be
Lars.
Yeah. Right, I'm gonna go, and you see two big arms hug this box. I'm gonna go find a place to go hide with my friend here. And I'll see you soon. He kind of looks around, puts in a couple of bottles of alcohol and 5 pod noodles. I'll see you soon, brother. Hopefully. If not, have fun.
See you real soon, man. See you real soon.
And he switches off the comm link.
Well, shit.
Oh, I hate spies.
Did he get an X4?
Simon's rolling now. Right, let's see how we're going to do with this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Actually, he's going to be...
We gave him quite a lot of time to do that. So.
I have the sector at least.
Okay.
Successes. Look at that.
Well, that narrows it down a little bit at least.
And X4 gets 1 strain from me.
We have an oil bath.
You can probably remove your wounds and strain, by the way, Felicia.
Oh yeah, remove those. Yeah,
Never.
Your back to spa date worked all that out from from the last mission.
Yep.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Okay.
No one questioned the bathroom back to tanked.
No.
Yeah.
It smelled like roses for a week, which was much better than
The
smelling
chicken.
like fucking pod noodles after a certain someone used it.
Yeah, but guys, I did have to come along and sterilize the outside of the tank. Literally, there was like pink and luminescent green growths of bacta as they reacted with the bath bomb. So.
Back to tank. Heal thyself, basically. Poor thing.
Yeah,
Way
there
outside
was-
of manufacturer's specifications.
Yeah, there was divergent cultures appearing, and guys it was like, I'm going to need this if you guys die. If you guys get hurt. And it was basically just peeling this variant bacta culture off the side of the tank.
It's better. Geezer was helping with that as well.
Yeah.
He knows what he's doing around the Baxter tank.
Well, it was Geezer.
Yeah, it was Geezer.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
I
yeah,
refer to him as Geyser because that's how he refers to himself. So,
Oh, sorry, I completely missed the name. My bad.
Geyser, Geezer. Yeah, you call him Geezer. Yeah. So, you have a sector of space that it's currently in. It seems to be in a void space that is between. Let me get this right.
Pulling
Again,
up the
it is
holographic
on the
galaxy map.
edge of space, edge of Imperial space. So, because the Imperials ruin all the best parties.
Yeah?
That's pretty much rule 1 of partying in the universe.
Don't party too close to the Alliance or you won't get any of the good stuff. Don't party too close to the Empire or they will ruin it.
Pretty much word for word. Well done. So this is just outside of the Gordian Reach. So not too far away from Yavin, actually. And the system that it's closest to, it's in the space around Korriban.
Oh, over there.
For anybody who is following, that's quadrant R5 on the galaxy map for Star Wars.
Can have
That's why I was
Ed
grabbing
show
this, as I
the
couldn't
map.
the reference. So,
For
it's-
those who have played Star Wars The Old Republic, Korriban is actually the Sith homeworld.
Mhm. Yep, it's
no.
it's pretty close to Korriban.
Oh, no.
As in the Sith race.
Yeah,
Yes and yes.
it's not that it's
The
not that
Sith
dangerous
race
a place
lived
now.
on the planet, but it is one of the planets with the most Sith temples, as in Sith, as in laser Sith.
Yeah.
Places. Yeah, because we shall have the big bads named Sith, but we also have a race named Sith. So,
But
good
that
luck.
is because the first Sith were Sith.
Yeah.
So they named the Sithness after the race.
The first Sith were the Sith, and then those Sith, the other Sith came after the first Sith, and they were Scythia, right?
Yes.
Scythiest.
Yeah.
And which
Well,
is
it's like
why
Catholics, you
within
you have a
Sith
Catholic
as in
city,
the
you have a
Force
Catholic
user.
faith, and they all wear robes. So yeah, it's
Exactly.
fine. Yeah.
And the Sith race is more highly regarded in the Sith Force user organization, as they are more pure, as it said. So often a pure-blooded Sith who is a Sith is much higher ranking than anyone else.
But Sith squared, isn't it? Rather than Sith
Yeah.
human, it's
Happening
Sith squared.
again.
Yeah. You're min-maxing your evilness.
Star Wars
you know,
lore is
it's-
stupid sometimes.
Yeah.
That's good.
1 second.
You're saying that they don't take it seriously.
No.
So, yes, this is where we have that Felicia is a card-carrying Sith.
While I find the correct passage.
Yes, she is a card-carrying Sith. Please be careful. Yeah, you know it's quite close there. Now, the only person who's going to stand a chance of knowing what Felicia just said is Nima.
Yeah.
So, only Nima's going to be able to make a roll unless you have knowledge. What would it be?
Lore?
It would be knowledge outer worlds.
Outer Rim.
Outer Rim, yeah. Yeah, if you've got knowledge outer Rim, there's a chance you might know it. If not, it's only...
I would say Outer Rim or perhaps lore, because this is lore about the Jedi and the Sith's
Yes,
origins.
I would allow lore as well. Yeah.
Okay, yay! Can I roll with lore then?
You can roll from your obligation, Nima.
Ooh. Ooh. What is the skill in that?
Oh no, it means that your obligation allows you to roll in the first place.
Oh, okay.
Now, here's the thing. You can upgrade the roll once if you give yourself an extra 3 obligation.
Well, I'm gonna use intense focus and suffer 1 strain and upgrade my ability check of my choice once anyway, and not use that.
Well, fine. Go and do it then.
Come on, obligations are fun points. That's what they are.
Yeah.
But if we get too much,
Oh, we haven't rolled your obligation yet. So, yeah.
Yeah.
When we start the mission, we'll do Destiny and we'll do obligation as part of that. But I like to get
see
into
it like
it first.
this, Corinne. The more obligation you have, the higher the chance of us running into Jedi shit is.
I mean that's true.
Yeah, that's
Fun points.
a nasty meta to think of. Yeah, that's not me saying that you're being meta, but it is a meta. It's a meta thought that is very dangerous.
Yeah,
Hey,
I know.
if we stack up a particular type of obligation, we'll always get this happening.
No, I'm happy just suffering the 1 strain and not stacking anything against me. Also make sure I'm on me. So set the strain. Okay. What's the diff?
The diff for this at the moment, you are from a different part of the galaxy, so that increases it by 1. And also, you're in a time of propaganda suppression.
Yes, but this is my obsession.
Yeah, there are 2 things. This is your obsession, and you have access to the Force Underground, the Jedi Underground. So let's go with diff 3 and 1 blue added to it.
Okay. So
It was going to be diff 4, so that got reduced down.
Yeah. Okay, let's see. I don't have huge hopes, but we'll try. Yay!
Hey.
There we are. Yeah, beating the odds. It's always good fun. So, you know enough. You know enough that that it is a place where, if you are interested in the Old Order of the Sith rather than the Old Order of the Jedi, it would be holiday location number 1.
But it's not.
No.
This is like opposite holiday location.
Yeah.
This is your worst nightmare.
Yeah, I was like, oh no, Sith temples. Ugh.
So yeah. Now, at this point, I am going to get you guys to. We are going to roll your obligation because I think it's going to become important. Let me just check your obligation table.
Are we rolling this openly or in secret?
Oh, I'm going to roll it openly this time, just for the fun of it, because then you don't know what I'm going to do with it. So, dice results. For anybody who doesn't know about obligation, obligation is a feature in Edge of the Empire where whenever you do a mission, you roll on an obligation table for the crew. It is a D100 roll, and depending on how much obligation they have for different things that they have done, it lands either on nothing, which is great, or it can roll on one of their various obligations. So at the moment, on dice result 1 to 10, Nima's obsession of the old Jedi Order will kick off in some manner during the mission. On 11 to 30, Victoria's Warrior Code will go off, and there will be something that she will have to do during the mission that will satisfy her Warrior's Code. Yep. At 31 to 40, JT will end up having something to do with his separation anxiety, or at least the source of it, so how he got it in the first place. For some of the minor ones, 41 to 45, the bounty that the spicers in the corporate sector.
I forgot about that again.
Yeah, I was gonna say
will go off, and they will get attacked by a bounty hunter. If they roll 46 to 50, a bounty that's been put on their heads by Darth Solaris will go off. Now, at the moment, that obligation is low. At 5, it's low. Even the spicers couldn't be that bothered. They put it on your head just as a matter of business. Darth Solaris doesn't actually know who you are currently, so he has got some bounty hunters literally tracking down, finding out who you are. That's all they are doing. So bounty hunters aren't necessarily going to kill you. And then finally, at 51 to 63, Chevron's obsession with shiny new toys will kick off. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that he will want a particular toy. It might mean that one of his previous purchases, or what he did to get his toys, will come back to bite him in the ass. Okay? So let's do this. 1D100. Beep. Ooh, 74.
No.
Nothing.
Nothing.
Oh, disappointing. Okay. Fine.
Some more. See?
I'll abide by the rules.
To be just for some fun extra info for the Star Wars nerds out there, Korriban, the Sith planet we have been talking about, is almost next to Drummond Kaas, the Imperial capital.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Yep.
That's more relevant. Oh dear. Okay.
Yeah, I thought that would be a fun tidbit.
So yeah, weirdly, even though you've got the deep core, the core worlds, you've got Coruscant and all the rest of it, the Imperium is currently sat in Coruscant. But it's not where its original home capital is. The Empire at one point was just a shitty little faction, like the Hutts and all the rest of it. And like, we're an empire, and they're like, yeah, shut up and sit down. You know, like people consider the British. And that's what they were. And then they became a thing. And it was only when Palpatine, I'm trying to get this right, it's only when Palpatine declared that there was a new galactic empire.
Yeah.
That they were like, oh, right, yeah, this is cool. And then when the Empire moved in, they were like, oh, hang on, you mean that Empire? And they realized that the two were the same because, Empire, right? Everybody calls it Empire. So, yeah. Oops. So that's kind of a history thing there. No obligation is going to go off. And yes, Corinne, you're aware of the significance of Korriban.
Yes, we get to flip a dark side to a light side, even though all of us have not done the thingy.
Paperclip, what are you doing to me? Speaking of which, anybody who hasn't rolled Destiny, do it now.
Oh yeah.
Yes, thank you so much, Paperclip.
JT,
Also, you haven't-
my word! Oh my word! You guys are absolutely stacked.
Yes, this is good shit.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
But it means that when you start flipping them, that I have that many back. So I don't mind it. It's a whole economy. So
Keep them all. Starve the DM. No. It's tedious. This is boring and tedious. I want to do cool stuff with my spangly points.
if you haven't guessed, you've got your mission briefing.
Yeah.
What are you going to do?
Well, I think immediately, like, Chevron's just going to be just like, damn it, and sort of just pacing around in the room, being like trying to rack his brains as to what to do. And then after,
sorry.
So after a moment, he's just going to like turn to the rest of the group and be like, okay, I need to call in the favor then.
The favor.
What favor?
Well, I figure you guys owe me at least one, Johnny.
We're gonna help you anyway. You don't need to call in a favor.
Well, that's very tough.
But if you want to call in favors, then we shall say that we're even after this.
Very good. I'll give you
There's a beep-loop on your comlink.
Who's everybody's?
Whoever asked, it's on JT's actually.
Yeah, because he asked.
So there's no
someone to
sound
help.
whatsoever. You just get you just aware that someone's calling.
And I will flick it up on the main screen.
Sure. There's a hood. You notice actually in this lighting that at the blackness inside a Jawa's hood, so they actually do wear a face mask, and the two burning yellow eyes, and through a vocoder that you know that they keep on their kind of where their collarbone is, you hear, "Hey, why are you chasing urban legends?"
Why do you need to know?
Good point. I guess I kind of need to know if you want to know anything more about it.
Yes, I wouldn't have asked you if we didn't need to know.
Okay, well, I can tell you what I know about it, and then if you need any specific application or question, then I guess you'll have to tell me more. Yeah, so Emerald Road, it's an urban legend, a type of spice that has no downsides. Every now and again, people say that they've tried it and that it was wonderful, but it's a pipe dream. There's always a kick to spice, you know. There's a price to pay. It doesn't exist. Someone's pulling your chain if they're trying to sell you that.
Well, that's interesting.
That's
What if we told you that something, it may not have no kick, but there's definitely something pure out there?
Well, pure spice is pure spice. I mean, people blend it for various kicks, but you can just get pure spice. That's not a problem.
I'll be honest, I don't really understand all of this. It's very organic.
You and me too. I'm not your typical organic.
well. What
any
could
particular-
someone be using it as a kind of poison? Do you think?
Well, that wouldn't exactly be Emerald Road then, would it? I mean, somebody could claim that it's Emerald Road and put stuff in it, cut it real bad. But, you know, that just means that they're just another scum spice pusher that's cutting their stock.
Any other rumors centered around, and I'll rattle off the sector ID.
That's a rich area over there. You don't want to mess with over there. Especially considering that Yevon is still considered to be
a place to plant your flag between the Empire and the Alliance at the moment. They're always trying to kind of go in there just to prove that they've still got some sort of jurisdiction. It's part of their propaganda, you know.
Do you happen to know any dealers around there? Any of the big cartels?
Only the ones in the corporate sector themselves. That's about it. Farana, mostly is where I was operating, and I don't take spice, I'm afraid. It's one of the reasons why it was always good to hire me. Never get high on your own supply and all that lot.
Do you think Ixo would talk to us? Boss Ixo.
Ixo?
Sorry, that was to the party.
Ixo.
Boss Ixo is the industrious boss. I've got industry, brackets, drugs.
Oh yeah, we can ask him, yeah. That's a very
Well,
good.
we can ask him. Whether we'll get an answer is we might have to go through Nala.
Yeah.
And
Boss
talking to Nala about
Ixo.
spice.
You can go to speak to Ixo if you want.
We'll probably
Thank
have
you,
to go
Ramage.
Thank you.
One last
don't
thing,
think-
Ramage.
oh.
Could you run there's a place called the Cube that we're trying to locate. Maybe you could have a look to see if there's anything up that avenue you can find for us.
Sure. I'll be right back.
And the comlink goes off.
Worth a try. I think it might be we need to go through more interesting channels to find out where this place is, but
No,
The reason I
There's
was
a-
asking about Ixo, we don't have an existing relationship with him yet.
Yeah.
No. And I
Yes.
don't like him.
Well,
That's
yeah,
fair.
he's not really the honourable type.
going back to
Oh,
my
like
way.
certainly not, and he deals in spice.
Yeah.
Good. I didn't make him likable. If you liked him, I'd be like, why?
Ah, yes, the xenophobic Gran. There we go.
Yeah.
Back to the notes. There we go. Good times.
Yeah. We'd probably have to go through Basnala to at least have him answer any questions, honestly.
We did get rid of Björn, though.
Yeah, we did.
You can approach any of the bosses. At the rank that you are at the moment, you're considered to be you're considered to be big in Nala's operation.
Wait,
Big enough that you
Simon?
could just turn up.
Hmm,
I mean, Paul would have spoken to Kitala a few times whilst she was there. She would have just checked in on him.
Simon, with the time in the Star Wars timeline we are, this is out of character, obviously, because I got my brain is trying to confuse me. But isn't there rebel bases on Yavin at this point? Because that's where they launched a lot of the flights to the Death Star when they destroyed it.
There's those bases. The lashback. You're far enough along in one ABY at the moment that the lashback from the Empire is that they pretty much bombed the shit out of Yavin.
Yeah. Of
yeah.
course. Yeah,
So
because
Yavin
there is a little
is
bit of
smoldering right
overlap that it's a bit confusing when we go to places that have significant lore.
Yeah, that's
My brain.
not a problem. Yeah, that's absolutely fine. So you're quite right. So this is 1 year after the Death Star, the first Death Star was destroyed.
Yeah.
So there has been some really, it's been a very war-torn area. However, it's not really held properly by either at the moment because we're still in the part where they haven't settled the lines here. It's still very fractious. And at the moment, it's big-ass fleets chasing other big-ass fleets and then just patrols to make sure that no spies and things like that are getting through. But it's the whole of space. So it's messy as fuck. And it's one of the things that if you read up on some of the Star Wars historians, and my God, they're out there.
They're all out there.
The messy lines going through the galaxy at the moment.
Yeah.
If you think it's messy on a terrestrial map, where they go, oh yeah, we think the line was somewhere by here. Try it in 3D. It's
Thank you, Mr. E. Hall, for the bit. Thank you so much.
Yeah, that too.
Thank you very much, and
like,
welcome to the stream again.
I am somewhat into the lore, so sometimes my brain fucks up because I'm really bad at remembering dates.
Please bear in mind, I may sound like I know what I'm talking about, but that's because I get to say where we are in the timeline, and I research it just before I come on.
Yeah. That is smart. That is smart.
Also, I will take artistic license for anybody out there who's obsessed with the Star Wars timeline. I will make mistakes. This is a parallel canon. I'm going to keep it mostly true to form because who wants to completely rewrite Star Wars? But yeah, there will be elements taken from it.
Yeah. Thank you for clarifying that for me.
Okay. Yeah, so you know it's going to be a dangerous flight. Guess what? You guys have leveled. Not that there's levels in this, but it's going to be a dangerous flight.
Yeah. We're going in. We're going to try and sneak past both the Alliance and the Empire.
You're not allied to
Bust
either.
out a drugged up Dougie for Chevron.
Oh, first things first, we're going to speak to a xenophobic Gran.
Oh yeah,
You get to meet all the best people in this job. So yeah.
Cool. I think we probably definitely yes. I agree that we should go see IXO, and but possibly just maybe at least give Nala a courtesy, message that we're wading into that quagmire before we do so. Basically,
Unless there's anything specific you want to say to Nala, she gives her consent.
I was just literally to say we check in because
Sure.
yeah,
Good to know.
We won't be available.
Could you fuck
for a
up, it will be put into consideration. Yeah. Okay, cool. But she knew you were up to something. Okay.
And the question is, do we know any way to butter up IXO beforehand, as it were? Do we know? Is there any way to ascertain his likes and dislikes? Because again, partly because the only thing I have down on the paper is the memory of him being an asshole, and then again,
a
xenophobic,
cloistered, hermited arsehole. His people are the most closed-ranked lot. He has one of the smaller asteroids, to the point where it's not really a city; it's more like a town. And if you think the kind of company loyal towns that you find in America are bad, and the little kind of uncanny valley, there's nothing on this lot. If you meet somebody from Ixo's asteroid that's like shopping in Nala's asteroid, anything like that, they will keep to themselves and they will be tight-lipped like fuck. He has that reputation. People are scared of him. And the other bosses tolerate him because he is a very powerful ally. That's about it.
Yeah.
He doesn't mess with their shit, and so they've just decided to stop thinking past, we won't mess with his.
Okay.
Do we have anything we can bribe him with?
Well, we're about to do him a big favor. If someone has,
He's into genetic manipulation.
Right,
amongst other things, but the thing you heard about is he loves manipulating people's bodies on a genetic level. So voluntary mutations and augmentations using biology.
We never got anything from him for doing the job with Björn. So
the
he's in
only
our
thing
debt.
was he basically said we could try and bribe Björn with upgrades, but he
And we didn't
wouldn't
need
have
to.
liked that.
Yeah, so we didn't even cost him anything.
Yeah.
He's in our
True.
debt.
Yeah. Yes.
So I think we'll ask Nala to set up the meeting at least.
Yes.
Sure. You get a time that you can go over to Ixo's asteroid, and that time is in 10 minutes' time, because we're going to take a small break now. I need to refill my drink. I've been drinking a dark and stormy, but I think I'll go for coffee now. And so we will see you guys in 10 minutes' time.
See you very soon.
And we're back. Apologies for that. I got into my my difficulty settings in computer games rant. But
Yeah.
Jedi Fallen Order. It's a good game.
and also, yeah, Fallen Order, very good game.
And all enemies now have double HP for the rest
All
of the
hail the
session.
Sith. Peace is a lie. There is only passion. Through passion, I gain strength. Through strength, I gain power. Through power, I gain
think she's
victory.
gone zealot.
Through victory, my chains are broken, and the Force shall
Close
set
the
me
book. Don't be lost to the book.
I needed to double check that I still had it, so I opened the page and read it like that.
Well, there you go. That's the next campaign you can do. We're all party of Sith. Just tear it
Yeah,
up.
that's a totally
Tear it up,
different campaign.
Play the Force book and just rip it up, baby.
Murder.
I don't think I could run that campaign. I've run evil D&D campaigns. I've run World of Darkness campaigns where you are literally, soulless creatures of the night, but I don't think I could go for Sith. I mean,
The younglings, Simon, the younglings.
Yeah, the younglings.
Either you would end up having players who end up having to make really, really fucked up moral decisions, or you would end up going cheesy the younglings, or it would just be a bunch of edgelords going emo on everybody. It's
Oh
kind of
God,
like,
yes, that's
That's
whole.
the way.
Daddy never bought me a pony.
That
That's
is
why I
the way
have
the
two
Sith-
red lightsabers.
I'm gonna go kill all the younglings. It was like,
The
great.
younglings
No,
got to pony. I didn't get
The
to
Jedi teach 6 ways of combat. There is no need for a Sith to know any type of combat that does not channel aggression.
So that you'll never find them using ninja chess or anything like that.
No.
Anyway,
It's-
let's get back to it because you guys have got
Also-
a conundrum. Your mission giver, instead of you being able to go back and say, "What did you say about this?" or "Can you elaborate on that?" was a Doug drugged up to the fucking eyeballs. And next time you try to call him on his comlink, he's going to think it's birds singing. That's it. That's what you got. And
Yeah.
with the questioning that you gave Lias Gran, who, as I say, is basically Keith Richards, but a Doug, you
More
got
Dougs.
that he's in the cube and that everyone around him has taken some Emerald Road, which you know is a variant of spice. You know that it is considered to be it's considered to be an urban legend. A spice that doesn't have a kickback. It doesn't have a low. You have the high, and you wake up, the birds are singing, you get the whole Disney princess wake up. Yeah. So, what would you like to do? You guys already said that you wanted to go to IXO, and you have an appointment. So, do you want to do that now?
Yes.
Well, he said it's in 10 minutes, so.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay. So, you guys, are you going there in the skiff, or are you going in the Lakota?
We are not going in the Lakota. I will not drive the Lakota there.
Yeah, we'll go into skip. And also, hello, Daddy's Milk. Don't think I've seen you here before.
Daddy's milk. So yes, hello, Daddy's milk. You get into the skiff, which is just a small. I'm not even naming the craft. It's the other ship that you have that nobody really cares about.
It's
and
literally a transport. It's like a ferry.
it's a little shuttle. Yeah, it's a little shuttle that has great maneuverability. It's got a fair amount of shielding, specifically for the asteroids. I'm not going to get you to do a sprawl check because it is such a small and nippy thing that the diff would be so low that it's not worth rolling.
My
So,
agility has now gone up as well, so.
of course that's going to affect your piloting. Yeah. So yes, you get to Boss Ixo's asteroid. You notice that this asteroid, compared to the others that you can see, which are pockmarked, this one's very smooth, and you have a feeling that it's sealed somehow. Looking at it, it doesn't look metallic. It's some sort of resin, maybe, that he's managed to cure the rock with. Incredibly smooth, like a pebble.
Right.
It's one of the more recognizable ones.
I don't like this, and I don't like him.
We just need him to like us, though. So that's okay.
I guess we'll hail and.
Hello, transponder code, please.
It will be transmitted. We have an appointment with Boss Ixo.
Yes, you do indeed. Please wait one moment, and you watch as almost organically part of the asteroid opens up. Like a mouth.
Well, that is disconcerting, but
Please follow the guidance light, and a light comes out of the mouth. And literally, this asteroid has opened up. Instead of it going zzz or something like that, it has just gone and opened up.
Is this a living thing?
It doesn't care. JT's flying in.
Yeah.
Nima, I don't know. I don't want to know.
The guide light goes off. You go through a force field, and you can see that there's a small element of asteroid before you land in this beautifully clean. Well, you might not consider it beautiful, but this clean, geometric, white-paneled landing bay. Whereas normally there's kind of functional greys, the usual brutalism that you'll see in Star Wars. This, you have landed on a pristine, white, flat surface in a kind of a curved off oblong of a landing bay. And you can see that there is, I need to, let's just check on my, okay, so an Ithorian, which, considering the last Ithorian that you met was was the cook that betrayed you. Thanks for subscribers. You find a single Ithorian in what seems to be some sort of uniform, stood there with her hands clasped in front of herself, not wringing her hands, just one hand inside the other, pressed neatly to her chest, almost like she's a statue. And she doesn't even flinch as you land the skiff meters away from her. Okay. Skiff opens up. I need to know, are you taking X4?
I mean, does he want to stay in the skiff, or does he want to go with us? I will create preference. Yes.
Okay, X4 says I'll come, but I'll stay in the skiff.
Okay, so he wanted to stay in the skiff.
He's staying in the skiff. He doesn't feel any need to go there, and also Astromex is synonymous with slicing. He doesn't want to be accused of anything.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Anybody who talks to him about it will know that X4 doesn't like XO one bit.
That's fair. That's fair.
And doesn't.
Honestly, I almost stay with him, but I will follow Nima because someone needs to keep her out of trouble.
I'll remind everyone to wipe their feet before they besmirch this beautiful, clean, landing bay.
Okay.
I will do it out of respect for Chevron and make sure that Victoria does it well and not just dump dirt all over this place for spite.
The second that your feet touch the floor, when you get off the little gangplank coming out of your ship, there's a vibration under your feet. Kind of tickles.
Does it clean our shoes?
Do you look at your shoes?
Yeah, I do.
Your shoes are pristine clean.
Yep. Oh, well, it seemed like we needed to do that. Oh, well.
Hello, everyone. You are expected. Please come with me to decontamination.
Okay.
I will destroy you in a training session later, Chevron.
Do me a favor, remember? Do me a favor.
Mm-hmm.
Just this way, please.
And the Ithorian walks at a good distance away from you all, goes into a small control room, and then beckons for you to walk into a corridor.
Well, we will do so, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay. She goes, the organics are very slightly separate to the droid, please. Okay. So for you, JT, when you go through, you've been through this before. This is a kind of like a quarantine check, and they basically just nuke you because they can do a more thorough job with you than they can with the organics. They just nuke the hell out of you, and you come out pristine clean. You get sprayed as well. You're smelling a little kind of not that you know. You're smelling a little bit kind of bleachy on the way out. But yeah.
In other words, they cover in ytdisinfektering.
Yeah, and kind of
Yes.
Yeah, and kind of UV light as well. So there's these kind of bladed lasers that go up and down JT's body. It doesn't hurt him at all. Your internal sensors tell you that you've heated up by 0.2 of a degree. That's it. It's fine. Standard procedure. As for the rest of you, you go down the corridor, and the Tannoy, the same Ithorian, says, just to the left, please, and into the cubicles.
Right.
You get put into the cubicle, and in the correct language, there is the usual kind of space runes that make up most of Star Wars canon language. It asks you to place all your possessions in the locker and stand on the mark on the floor.
I will put everything except my sword in that locker. The sword goes with me.
Okay, sure. So the locker
destroyed.
Yeah, the locker. Once you close it, for everybody else, unless you're doing the same thing as Victoria, there's a sudden whoomp, 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 and like looking at the edge of a photocopier, where the box has been closed, there's this bladed light going backwards and forwards. And you stood there, buck naked, get sprayed from head to toe in. Okay, it's kind of nice smelling. It's relatively warm, but it's a bit surprising. It comes out of various ports in the wall, and you just all get sprayed down. And then after that, there is a light that comes up, and you get the same kind of bladed lights going up and down you, but they're not lasers in this case, but they do dry you. And so I'll get some of you to do a roll in a sec. Victoria, you get to the point where it's about to engage the bio stuff, so the biocide they're going to spray on you, and there's a metal detected.
It's not gonna teleport you away, Victoria, it's fine.
I will put the sword away.
Sure. You put it in the box. Worm, worm, worm. And yeah, you are squeaky clean. Kind of disturbingly so. You know when you've exfoliated to the point where you can feel that your pores are, your skin feels like fresh skin. And it's a little disturbing. You may now resume your items.
Pet her left me.
And you get your items back. Your items are incredibly clean and nice smelling as well.
So look under.
I will immediately inspect everything to make sure that nothing is out of place or looks bad, because I know what a bad cleaning job does to a sword.
Sure. If you want, do me it is a melee roll because it's your knowledge of your sword. It's not quite a mechanics thing yet, but I will say that during this process, I will let anybody who wants to make a mechanics check diff 3.
No.
Apart from JT. JT can't make it.
I mean, sure, why not?
Is it still a melee for me, or do I have to roll mechanics?
Melee, but only for your sword. Just because you know your sword inside out. You've taken that thing apart so many times.
Yes. I did diff 3 because that's what you said, but yeah.
Okay, what have we got here? Victoria, your sword is fully functional. It's absolutely fine. if anything, they got rid of a lot of sweat and stuff from the handle. Because you've always had trouble getting that out, and it's got rid of it. Interesting. And Chevron, yeah, you know nothing.
Squeaky clean.
Squeaky clean. Yay, laser shower. Right.
Yeah.
So you come back out, and the Ithorian walks up to you and says, "Thank you for observing our embarkation procedure. You are now free to enjoy our asteroid."
Where is Ixo?
Just this way, please. She takes you to what seems to be a lift and says, if you'd like to enter the lift, I will have it take you directly to Ixo.
Much
So we
obliged.
shall.
Yes.
You step in, and this is like a hyperlift. It doesn't just go up and down; it goes sideways as well. It's just a pod that gets pulled through the asteroid like a system. And you can see there are big ones and small kind of commuter ones like yours. You get in there. She recommends that you sit down. She asks for the droid to activate the Magna lock, which will moor his feet. And so with JT standing there and the three of you sat down, the lift lurches off through the asteroid. When the doors open, there is a large vestibule where you can see it's clearly kind of a place where people would normally wait to be seen. And you can see there's only one person waiting there. And it is a Chiss who is there nervously wringing their hands. They're wearing the same kind of uniform as the Ithorian is wearing, nervously wringing their hands. And the garden itself is very, very different, very alien. And at this point, anybody who is willing to, I'd like you to make me it would be a Xeno roll. So Xenology, that's intelligence.
Nah.
Also,
Nope.
thank you, Mr. Eel, for the 250 bits for Simon's use of the word vestibule.
There are words that I like mellifluous. And, I try to use words that I've learned where I go, that's good, that needs to be used more. You know that in that case, without rolling, you know there's some freaky ass plants in here. There's a mushroom that's like the size of like an ornamental tree that seems to be giving out this lovely kind of spicy scent, almost like mulled wine kind of scent. There's kind of almost completely transparent grass that you can only see where it moves very slightly with the air conditioning that's coming in here. You just see the silhouettes, this kind of almost like a heat shimmer. There's grass, and it's ornamental grass, so it's like a tuft that's moving. There's these flowers that seem to be prehensile, and just every now and again, one of the flowers just picks up a pebble, moves it to one side, and starts kind of sniffing around in the soil for something. And there's a sudden crack sound as it eats a small woodlouse-like creature that's in its enclosure. There seems to be a lot of these things here, but there's also aquatic ones as well. So there's an ornamental lake that's in there, and you can see that there seems to be what look like plants, but they are kind of swimming around like jellyfish. Just very, very slowly moving the petals, just so that they're moving slowly with the water. And there are pods that you can see are under pressure, and these are like deep sea plants, more vibrant and more and bioluminescing, many of them, because they normally need to in their habitat. You don't know whether he has engineered some of these, altered some of these, bred some of these, or if this is just his collection from his travels. Your gesture, you haven't got any guidance here, but you can walk around, you can sit down, but you get summoned after a couple of minutes.
JT wants to figure out how much of this is, if any of this is, as it originally was.
Okay.
You're
That's
a safari droid,
xenology.
so you should have some idea, I guess.
I should, but I also have an intellect of 1 and
Oh,
no
you
skill in
have worse
xenology.
intellect
And
than
did not
me,
buy any ranks
then.
next. I assume it's a class skill, but
It is a class skill. It's a career skill, yes. I just have never put anything into it. What's the diff?
Fair.
The diff for this is 4.
oof. I was going to say treat yourself to a light side point, but that's probably
Nah.
that seems
Not for-
just for lesser.
Yeah.
You know.
Hey, only 1 failure.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, just weird. You get a feeling that either this is looking at how out there it is. Either this guy collects rare plants, or he makes them.
I dislike both of those answers.
So, a couple of minutes later, a completely different Chiss walks out and says, "Director Ixo will be receiving you now. If you'd like to come this way."
Now, one thing I was going to say before potentially putting foot in mouth, how confident are we that this guy is into the drugs trade? Basically,
Very.
we suspect heavily. I seem to recall from our last encounter, but I think both Ed and I have got drugs question mark on our notes. So I'm just trying to
all
recall.
of us have that drugs question mark, but it was pretty much confirmed when he started talking during the last mission.
Okay.
Well, essentially, all we're doing is looking for information about other possible... Because spice is organic. So it's obviously been genetically modified, this kind of spice.
Yeah.
Also,
I'd like to know.
I'd like to pre-warn you guys. I just heard thunder outside, so if I suddenly disappear, you know why.
Yeah.
Yep.
Fair.
Alicia is a storm god. Every now and again, she has to go out and recharge. So, yeah. So yes, you get taken into, to call it an office would be a kind of it's not an office. It's almost like a palatial room. You can see in the middle of this large heptagonal space is Ixo sat at a desk. There's panels in the floor, large panels, almost like a clock around him. And you're almost certain that these panels lift to reveal rooms, because at the moment they're all down apart from one of them that has kind of like a nice chill out area. It's like sofas and there's like a little mini bar and all the rest of it. But you can see that the other 6 segments have been dropped into the floor. And this is the place that seems to thrive on symmetry and the asymmetry of this. Even though it is a 7-sided chamber, the asymmetry of this suggests that maybe before you arrived, he pressed some buttons and some of his little secrets just lowered into the floor. However, it's not the floor that hits you first, it's the ceiling. This is a geodesic dome, 7 sides, geodesic going all the way up around. And even though you know you're in the middle of an asteroid, the screens that make up this geodesic dome make it look like you're on another planet. In fact, there's a panorama around this dome-like chamber of being in the middle of the forest, to the point where you can actually see wildlife walking around. The Gran, and I will remind everybody what a Gran is.
One of my favourite alien designs.
Yeah.
They're good.
The fact that they have a trisymmetry to them is why I went for a heptagonal. So yeah, the Gran stands up and goes, some of our more
trustworthy members of the Sprawl. How can I help you today?
You owe us a favour, and
I
I'm not
believe I
sure
do.
if you can help us yet.
Well, let's have a quick discussion to find out whether I am able to help. Please.
And he gestures to the sofas.
Oh,
JT will not move.
Sure. He's moving to the sofas.
Nima will take the Organis to go and sit down. I tell JT if he's more comfortable, he can just stand to the side.
JT will move closer, but he just won't sit down because what's the point?
Ixo doesn't seem offended by that. He sits down in a kind of a single bucket chair, and he sits back, leans back a bit. This kind of tilts back. He crosses his legs, steeples his fingers, and says, "What can I do for you?"
Have you ever heard?
Oh, sorry.
I was gonna say, have you ever heard of something called the Emerald Road?
I make it my business to be a consultant of substances of abuse in the Sprawl. And so, yes, I do. Well, at least I know of the legend.
Okay, do you know what it's supposed to do?
Oh, yes, of course. It's supposed to be Spice Plus. All of the high points, none of the low points. A rather lofty claim, I have to admit.
Do you think it's feasible?
I believe there's ways of disguising the negative elements, but ultimately what Spice does to you is its own payment. So, yes, I would say you could basically blend into it a form of recovery that would do well. Unfortunately, it is... Well, I don't know if you know how Spice is taken. It's mined, you see. It is a natural resource, not a product of synthesis. So I would normally go for, if I was in said business, I would go for a more synthetic answer, where I would have more control over the various elements.
Yes.
Have you heard of the cube?
The cube? Yes, from my earlier days. I don't go there anymore.
Can you get us in?
Is this the favor?
We are working out the parameters of the favour first.
Oh, how very droid of you. Yes, I am capable of getting you in.
Okay. Would you think that some sort... What the Emerald Road could do is that it had some kind of effect where it wouldn't get the user to come down from the high, and if they do start coming down the high, it's essentially going into withdrawal symptoms immediately and making them having to take more.
Addiction is a terrible thing. Spice already has addiction. As for the need to come down, it's kind of part of the process. Every spice dealer depends on the person coming back down to be able to sell them more. Now, making them come down so that they crave it, but are still a functional being, that would hit the higher tier of society. It would fetch a greater price. Presumably why you're looking to go to the cube? Such a thing should be sold there.
Oh, want to make it clear, we're not looking to purchase the item.
I know better than to ask why you're interested, but I'm interested as to why you're interested. Just to state the fact.
Your interest has been noted.
Noted.
If we were to come across a sample of this Emerald Road, would you be interested in having a look for yourself?
Of course, I am a chemist after all. I would be very interested in breaking it down and finding out exactly what they did to it. By the sounds of it, you're pursuing it for negative reasons. You don't seem to be wanting to party. So, is this a mission for Nala?
No.
It's none of your business who it's for.
That's correct. This This is a favor, isn't it? Of course. Very well. I'll play by your rules.
If we could get some to you, could you manufacture to put it into the opposite of the wave, something to cancel it out?
An antidote.
An antidote. Yeah.
Antidote, yes. Organics, sorry.
Yes.
Of course. Well, if you'll pardon the boast, I am one of the foremost chemists in the galaxy. Biochemist as well. So whether it's spice or synthetic, I will be up to the task. I do, after all, possess quite the laboratory.
Yeah, indeed.
And in
indeed.
order to manufacture a antidote, you would have to figure out how it's made and what it's made of, I presume.
Simple retrosynthetic analysis, I assure you.
Yes.
Which is an actual thing.
Yeah,
yeah.
I know, that's why I mentioned it.
Yes.
We are talking to the chemist here.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. If you want,
I will be
especially-
using some terms, but in space language.
Yes, they make for snake bites they make the antidote out of the snake venom. So like it's all
Yep.
Yeah, there's a place in Oxford actually called Venom Tech where they take the venom of some of the worst creatures in the world and make some really good cures out of them. Not just
Oh, yeah.
antidotes for the poison, but some chemotherapy treatments and other such stuff. They get some good shit out of that. It's complex
yeah.
organics, you know.
As
So
long as the snakes are treated as well as possible and everything is done
oh god, yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
I mean,
properly, then
yeah,
there shouldn't
I've
be any
I've
issues.
been there. I once owned shares in them. Venom Tech are very good. So as opposed to animal testing, they do. There are sometimes where they have to farm the animals, but they do it humanely.
Yeah.
and
Basically,
From what
if you
we
eat
know.
bacon, it's good. But anyway, right. So he seems very confident.
Are the parameters of the deal acceptable to you?
At the moment, the parameters of the deal is I get you into one of the most exclusive party joints in the galaxy, and you insinuate that you will get me a sample.
we'll get you a sample. Is that what you
And
want
if
to
we
say?
won't, let's just say that the favor has been repaid from our earlier exploits.
Let's break this down. My favor to you is to get you into the cube. Then, separate to the favor, if you bring me a sample of this legendary emerald rope,
What they've called the Emerald World, we don't know if this is the actual Emerald World.
let's just use the term at the moment. I will, as part of academic interest, put together a counterchiral compound that will render it useless. I'll probably make some sort of collated construct that'll wrap it up within the biomatrix of various aliens who would take it. Does that sound sufficient?
That sounds
Yes.
good to me. Yes.
Specifics. Depending on how much you get me, how much antidote would you like? Am I going to be curing you or everyone in the cube, seeing as you're asking there? Or am I going to be manufacturing for a whole planet, a whole system, a whole quadrant?
It would be at most the people currently in the cube.
We understand each other. Very well, the cube are a contact of mine after all. This would work well for me. Get me a sample, and I shall sort it out. Something to help with the result. If you do intend for this to happen, if you are intent on helping those poor celebrities, I may need tissue samples as well.
Saliva,
Of course.
anything.
Saliva, blood samples, it doesn't matter. Either will be fine,
A range of species?
if possible. The more species, the better. One sample of somebody who is under a heavy influence of the side effects of the drug would be good. But the more species I have, the more I can use it to triangulate which particular biomatrix is being affected.
Of course.
Do you have any comments, Chevron?
It all seems rather fair and square to me. We'll get you this interesting sample, and you can do with it as you wish from that point onwards.
Oh. Well, I think this is turning out rather well for us. You get to reclaim your reward from a boss. You get the backing of a boss to solve a solution. I think this is going to be the start of a wonderful friendship. Anything else before we go?
I must profess, unfortunately, I've never frequented the cube before. How would it be best to blend in?
Well, that's the thing. Everyone there has money, so money is not exactly impressive. It's a place where rich people go to be slobs. You'll find the level of hedonism there quite unsanitary. And at this point, you notice he wrings his hands with absolute nervousness and anxiety. He hasn't come anywhere near you, hasn't shaken your hand. They haven't even offered you drinks, largely because you are minions, as far as he's concerned. And he wrings his hands at the memories of you.
He probably is a bit of a germaphobe.
Well, the very thorough decontamination didn't give it away.
No, not at all.
So yes, if you are willing, we shall leave the terms to that level.
Was there anything indicating we weren't willing?
No, just
Good.
confirming.
That sounds good to me.
So was I. I'm still learning these things, sorry.
Not at all. You've been very eloquent and straightforward. No chit-chat, no small talk. I like it.
He stands up out of the chair, almost marches to his desk, starts touching some contacts. He hasn't got a keyboard, but he's just kind of running his fingers over his desk. And he says, I have uploaded a transponder trail to your vessel. You'll be able to use it to get to the cube.
Thank you very much.
There'll be several buoys along the way. Once you arrive, transmit the key code that goes with that transponder data. It will tell you the next part of the path.
Do you have a ship transponder we could use?
A ship transponder?
A ship that you've used to get to the cube before?
You want me to lend you a ship?
No. I want you to lend me the transponder code.
He looks at you and goes,
You can hack transponder codes?
Irrelevant.
Boss must not like you at all.
that's the Bureau of Services and Ships, I think.
Oh, yes.
Boss must not like you one bit.
And he furrows his eyes at you. So all three of his eyes narrow, and the eyes come down parallel with his head as he's kind of intently staring at you. And he says,
I can allow you to scan a ship from my fleet, I suppose.
Thank you
A
very
pleasure
much.
yacht.
You've been
he's looking at you now with a whole kind of, shit, you know how to do things. Okay. And kind of reminding himself that you work for Nala and who you really are. And he consents to allowing you to scan a pleasure yacht that is part of his fleet.
Message to the whole group. Sorry, guys. Didn't realize he didn't know. Learning this talking stuff.
Just ping back and you were doing so well.
He's trying to push himself out of his comfort zone in several different ways at the moment.
Yep.
You've been most eloquent, and thank you so much for this opportunity.
Thank you for being compliant professionals. I eagerly await your return and the distracting puzzle that you'll bring with you.
Yes, we're hoping we'll bring enough. Thank you so much.
Thank you for your time, Director.
He smiles at the word director.
I do appreciate what you've done with this place. You pay good money elsewhere on the Sprawl for this kind of treatment.
I like to think I am precise. Neat.
Very neat. Very neat.
It's one word for
Sorry, he doesn't say neat, he says nice.
Nice. Very nice.
I'm taking this from Good Omens, where
Yeah, I was
nice
about to
means
say.
accurate.
Yeah, and then no attempt at a shake, just a nod, and then
Yeah.
I guess we shall make our way back.
Yeah.
Sure. Okay. I would like for that exchange.
Oh,
We're gonna get obligations.
I will accept. No obligation because this is this is quid pro quo, so you're fine. I will allow perception, streetwise, or
you got ranks in perception, Karen?
All the ranks.
Because I say, well, so I don't. I have 4 cunning.
Yeah.
So if you
yeah,
have,
I'll just go for those two actually.
I have
Okay,
3 yellow and 2 blue, I think.
2 blue.
Yeah.
Well, I can give you another green on that, basically, just
Yeah.
with my cunning. So roll them bones, I think. 'cause,
Yeah. What's the difficulty?
So
Blue,
the diff
Jesus.
for the dear director will
For
be
perception.
Like
3 red and a purple.
Oh,
Oh!
light side. No, come on, we've had a whole session where we've not touched one.
Yeah,
Treat
let's go
yourself.
for it. Light side.
Yeah.
It's like 4 yellows against that. Is
Yeah,
that right, then?
4 yellows,
No,
2
five,
blues.
five, right? No, oh no, yeah.
Yeah. So 4 yellows and 2 blues versus 3 reds and a purple. Oh dear.
This is one of the few rolls where I know what's going to happen if you roll a triumph and a despair. Go for it.
Big money. Oh, well, there you
Okay. Many successes.
All the successes.
Okay. Right. So
That is not too bad.
yeah, it's okay. It's okay.
go.
So Nima,
Hello, lunchbox.
you noticed that there was something that was said that despite his and yes, Lunchbox, this is the Genesis system, which a few of us have fallen in love with. It's such a good system.
Really nice.
Real nice. Yes, Fancy Flight Games. Good
Yeah.
company so far.
The and yeah, buy the books before they go extinct. You know that he started to get unsettled despite his almost flat demeanor all the way through. He was always acting the same way. You know 2 things. First of all, when he was talking about the fact that the cube was unsanitary, it was a DOS house, basically, a posh DOS house, and he wrung his hands. That was true, but he was allowing you to see it.
Okay.
The second thing is that there was something, not about the cube, but about Emerald Road, that he was not happy about. It was something. Remember, you don't get a huge amount. You don't read someone's mind when you do what we know as an insight check. But there's something specifically I can say when you started talking about Emerald Road. He started getting pretty fucking worked up about it. It was just the little things. You're going lie to me level of micro expressions here. And then finally, when he said that he could do something about it, he was smiling a little too much.
Right.
That's what you get for all these successes.
I'm
He's
starting
never
to
been-
get a
He was a little
feeling
too
that
smug.
he created the
He's
thing.
never been able to make it himself. He wants some. That's
That is also a possibility.
Paul's head cannon. We'll see.
Yeah. Once we're
Figure it
out
out.
and we're on our ship, I will relay this to everyone. Oh, actually, I can just message them. I will message, group message to everybody about this.
I love that we now have a group chat in our visors.
Yeah. Oh, we all have
I
optic
think-
suites now, so we can all just.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the emojis are going on and all the rest of it. That's why you never see emojis on
And the
Star
only
Wars. They're
one
all
using
in the
emojis
on the
are
visors.
Chevron
Yeah.
and Nima.
Well, every time there's like a really like JT does a really sick shot or something, just like tons of emojis coming up like.
JT
Yeah.
uses emoticons because JT is old.
Yes. So he's just like the one with the nose as well. So it's
JT's fairly sure he's pre-Clone Wars, but he doesn't know because he's been reset several times since
Yeah.
then.
Yeah.
You know, because he's not mad.
Because I am old. There's that thing that when some chat clients automatically convert emoticons into emojis, and the old man in me just rebels.
Yeah.
You know? When I put equals P, I mean equals P, all right. I don't.
Yes.
Anyway,
Oh, equals P, not even colon P. Equals
No,
dash
equals
P.
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
That
Old
sort of thing.
school.
I mean it, all right.
Yeah. See.
Anyway,
Victoria just sends gifs of swords.
Yeah.
yeah,
yeah,
so
go on.
fine. Oh, I was going to say so. Once I assume we're off the asteroid.
Yeah, you go back in the lift, and you can see that when you come out, the chist that was sat in the garden wringing their hands has a look on their face as if they're about to go to the gallows. And
Right.
you walk up to the lift, and as you get into the lift, the droid brain says, "You are only permitted to go back to the docking bay."
That's good because that's where we want to go.
Yeah, that's where we're gonna stick around.
Please take a seat and activate all Magna locks. And then you go back to the docking ring. The Ithorian comes out and scans you all. Has a little hand scanner. That'll be all. Thank you very much. Thank you for observing our customs.
Thank you so much. Hope to see you soon. Goodbye.
Only by prior appointment. Please leave.
Iko said we could see one of his pleasure yachts first.
Yes.
Yes. I have, and pulls out a data pad. The pleasure yacht has been set in synchronous orbit around the asteroid. Once you've scanned it, it will return back to the docking bay.
Thank you.
Good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And we leave. And scan things.
Yeah.
And no one does the kind of slimy bow like an Ithorian as the little slug head comes down. So you get out. You scan a really nice pleasure yacht. Actually, it's it's really stylish and sleek, nice and curvy, and all the rest of it. Chevron would approve, I guess. It's well within. It's just owned by an arsehole. And
Yep.
you have the transponder code for a pleasure yacht.
Okay, very good.
I will look up which pleasure yacht for next time. So, we have a few minutes left.
3.
3 minutes left. Theories? What kind of plan do you have? You now have the route to the cube. That was easy.
Before we go, there's something we need to do, but for sure.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not saying you're heading off yet. You guys can do the whole kind of preparation montage at the beginning of next session. I'm asking you as players now, theories, plans?
Oh, he's definitely involved in this Emerald Road somehow. If he created the first strain of it or something, and it went out, and now he's regretting it because he thought he buried every information about it, but nope.
Yes,
I always think the reverse. I think that he knows the rumor. He wishes he could do such a thing, and he is unable to. And so that's why. That's because it was. He gave us so much for so little. He was like, "Oh, just a sample." And as soon as we said a sample, he was like, "Oh yes, I'll give you everything you could dream of." And I was like, "All right, I ain't gonna say no to this, but like, you want this, son. You want this so much."
Yeah, I'm definitely thinking rivals. Definitely rivals.
Yeah.
Probably old rivals, old and bitter rivals.
Old, bitter,
Old, bitter
twisted
excess
and
rivals.
evil.
Yeah, old bitter exes. Now we're talking.
The second you said, "Oh, we're gonna go for Boss Ixo," I was like, "Oh, my Christmases have come at once." I was hoping that dropping that seed would pay off someday. Because bear in mind, when I drop these names, I've got to go, "Oh shit, yeah, I know." Like if you went more into Katala's asteroid and you guys did a whole mission there, I would have to describe it. So I already know in my head what it's like, you know.
And I just want to say to Lunchbox, sorry. We normally stream from 8 p.m. to 11 UK time. On Tuesdays specifically is the Star Wars Legends of the Sprawl, and then we play D&D on Fridays, same time frame.
However, I do have.
You'll be able to see.
If you follow us, you'll be able to see us when we come on. And also, there's a Discord link below. Please feel free to join if you want to discuss Genesis. I've done a load of stuff with it, although I do house rule it. Other people, well, everybody who's playing here knows about it, but the person who I think has done the most with it so far, other than me, and I don't know whether I've done more, if you've done more, is Ed. So you've
definitely run more Genesis than me.
Okay, fair enough. I've done a post-APOC in Genesis. I have done modern day in Genesis. I've written but haven't run a gene punk conspiracy, and what would I describe that as? Kind of like a existential crisis, I guess you'd call it, in Genesis. And I've got a medieval idea as well, although we've got D&D for that, but I'd like to try it all the same. And I literally got rid of the VODs today, but I'm experimenting with a one-on-one Genesis idea with Ed. So your group don't want to do Star Wars. There's lots of things you can do with Genesis, that's
there's Cyberpunk, isn't there? There's Beanstalk, which is a Cyberpunk source book, and then there's a fantasy source book as well, which the name eludes me. But there's
Beanstalk is the Android universe, which is kind of cyberpunk. If you don't want to get the degree that you need in Shadowrun to run Shadowrun, you can do it without the fantasy races there. Although they have their own
you also got Cyberpunk 2020, which is hot stuff right now because of the game coming out later.
But I played Cyberpunk 2017.
Roblox has a Shadowrun degree.
You have the Shadowrun degree. I join our Discord. I want to play sometime. Do you realize how hard it is getting a Shadowrun DM?
Yes, Discord is just linked below.
Look at the plates below in the stream info. We need a Shadowrun DM. There we go, just randomly absconded with members of the public. There is something that I'm going to be doing with Ed, which is a one-on-one using the...
we need to make a command for that. I'm going to send
we need to make a command, using... can you not see it? If you go onto
we need to add the Star Wars characters to... Where do we even do that?
Nightbot will do that for you. Genesis is a really cool system, and the fact that it prompts you using threats and advantages and despairs and things like that to pull extras on. Oh, you're on a tablet. Yeah, if you go onto PC, it will do it.
I gave you a link there.
You got a link there. Thank you, Corinne. And it's a good system. It will pay you back. It gets rid of a lot of flaws that I've seen in other games. I was my go-to for modern settings was World of Darkness 2004, so NWAD, D10 system, and it's still a good system. Don't get me wrong, until you get into combat and shit, at which point it kind of falls down a bit. I run a 5-year Werewolf the Forsaken game. I've still got the things down there, but right now we did, what was it, one session of Ed running. It was a Rivers of London based modern fantasy, so modern world with magic. And I have to say, I haven't enjoyed a one shot that much in a very long time.
What's
that
PTU
was pretty
and M&M?
PTU. Is that Mutants and Masterminds? Pokemon Tabletop United.
Cool.
I would never have guessed that. Now that you say it, I'm like, oh, of course, because I have seen people play it. And Mutants and Masterminds. Hey, I got it. M&M. Yay. Yeah, Mutants and Masterminds. I think I played that when I was a lot younger than I am now.
Never played that. I played Eon, Mutant, and D&D, Pathfinder, now Star Wars. Also a little bit of Cthulhu with Ed. Thank you for that one shot.
Oh my god, yeah. Cthulhu is
more.
great. Cthulhu by Ed is even better.
We need more.
All weebs. All
weebs.
weebs around. But yes.
Everywhere.
So thank you very much, everybody, for watching today, and bearing with the madness. We are just setting up a slightly different setup to a mission than usual, and I kind of wanted them to feel that. So and also have a bit of time for character development. So yeah, we are going to be cracking on a little bit with this mission, however, because as I said at the beginning, we could lose Paul at any time to the demands of new fatherhood.
2 weeks are in the bag, basically, but beyond that, it gets very shaky very quickly.
Yeah. Again, I appreciated the graph.
August?
Yeah.
Due date is in August, but then this time window where it's like...
Could be early, could be late, nobody knows.
Nobody knows.
A crazy month.
Organics.
Yeah. Just stay away from Thai food. Stay away from Thai food. That's all I have
it's
to
a nice
say.
S-curve at least, you know,
Yeah.
like, the cumulative probability and everything. But
Thank you for the follow, Lunchbox.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah. So that's it's nice to be able to chat at the end with everybody.
Yes.
I'm not going to do a raid today, but I would like to start putting it in future for raids. So for some of our regulars that I can see here, Dino and Mystery Hole's already gone. But anybody else who is our regular guys, feel free to put in raid suggestions for next time, and we will see you next. So to get back onto my format, I've gone off book, guys.
Oh dear.
Our next game
when
is...
don't we derail in one sense or another?
Yeah, but I tried to keep the beginning and the end normal, and then everything in between is chaos.
Okay,
Our next game is on Friday, 8 p.m. UK time to 11 p.m. UK time, and that is our long-running D&D 5th edition campaign, The Benefactor, where we'll join Corinne, Felicia, Kate, and Nick.
Brain.
There's a reason why I'm getting the names wrong, because I've already started talking about another player. And we will be joining them for the continuation of their story on the high seas and whatever challenge comes up next. So we will see you then, and take care of yourselves, and have fun.
Yes,
See you later.
See you later. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.